Last year, I visited two countries that are dear to my heart, Finland and Norway. I have two stories to share from my trip. Let's see what can be learned from them. The first one took place while walking through the streets of Tampere, Finland, with a friend. In between conversations about some interesting topic, a man materialized on our path. He was African and obviously unaware of the value that Finns place on personal space. Who just walks up to you out of the blue in Finland, of all places? Being from the Caribbean, I was looking forward to 5 weeks with no street harassment at all, so I was a bit disappointed. He proceeded to try convincing us that he was a tour guide and that he would like to take us around Tampere. My friend was a Finnish girl and a bit younger than me, but she was in shocked silence, so she just managed to mumble no thanks. I replied with a calm but firm no thanks, we're fine, and we both then proceeded to move away. At that point, he touched my shoulder and once again made his offer. It was clearly an earnest attempt at luring two young women to who knows what fate. I promptly brushed away the unwelcome hand, gently grabbed my friend by the arm, and we both started walking faster. He didn't follow us, thankfully, and we carried on with our afternoon walk while chatting about how weird and creepy that was. Here's the second story. This happened in Oslo one afternoon when I went to the Akerselva River for a walk. I got quite far along the river before I decided to turn back. On the way back, I was joined by an African man who apparently thought I needed company. I don't know what's with these people and barging into personal space, but anyway. He was quite respectful at first and curious to know where I was from, which wasn't a problem. He claimed to feel unwelcomed in Oslo, so I asked why, since I didn't share the feeling. I couldn't get a straight answer from him, but I told him that I was enjoying my stay there and that my 4 weeks spent in Finland were fantastic. He seemed surprised and said that Finland was even less welcoming to him. After some more casual banter, he did a full 180 on me and asked if I'm allowed to bring guests to my room, as he would, and I quote, like to experience things with a woman from the Caribbean, end quote. He even offered to walk me home as if I didn't know where I was going. I rolled my eyes in irritation, and of course I told him that I'm not interested. Needless to say, I shook him off before I got back to my Airbnb, but I had a haunting thought as I went to sleep that night. Is this what Norwegian women have to put up with? In case this needs to be said, no, not one European man did anything remotely close to that level of disgusting. In fact, they were all sweethearts to me. I was at two metal festivals, surrounded by white men, and I felt safe and super happy. So let's now see what can be learned from these stories. In both cases, the shady encounters were with African immigrants who invaded personal space in order to attempt coercion of some sort. In both cases, the individuals were probably there illegally, no doubt passing off as refugees. They were supposedly welcomed into the country according to the progressive narrative, yet one said he feels unwelcomed and the other acted as if he feels the same. It's as if they're just random extra puzzle pieces that just don't belong anywhere. I found myself asking, why are these people even here? Lastly, they both posed a potential threat. Those encounters could have gone horribly wrong, and I may not have been here talking to you about them. You may think that this isn't significant, but for me it was. Caribbean culture is overtly sexual, so street harassment is pretty much a norm, one that I despise. I wasn't expecting that in Northern Europe, as the people there tend to be quite respectful and generally shy. That was, after all, one of the reasons I took the trip. I wanted to be immersed in a different culture among a totally different people. There's a delicate balance that is being disrupted. A challenge has been issued against the natural order. I noticed it due to my personal stories. Instead of chanting, diversity is our strength, consider the cost of diversity. It will be paid by the women and daughters of Europe and by future generations.